Your focus on therapy, self-help, changing yourself, and personal development is causing you to stay stuck. It's the reason why you haven't reached your full potential, and it's the reason why I won't invest in you. This is what a billionaire mentor said to me in 2016. It uprooted everything in my life, completely changed my orientation. And what happened next was a complete miracle. I followed exactly what he said, how to leave behind the world of self-help and therapy and personal development and step into the superconscious world. I built an 8-figure company. That's right, over $10 million within 3 years. Built a second one, launched a best-selling book, married the love of my life, and completely changed the trajectory of my future and now millions of other people with the superconscious method. What I learned was that self-help only works at the beginning. Eventually, we continually teach ourselves that there's something we need to fix about ourselves, which causes us to becoming more and more and more stuck and stops us reaching our full potential. And so if that's you, if you've done the basics, if you've been to courses and read books and you've done self-work and you've gone to retreats and you've changed your diet and you've been applying the work, but you still know there's more potential, you still would like to make more money, you'd still like to have greater purpose, you'd still like to have a different body shape, the old thinking is the problem and you need to shift. That shift is to shift into your superconscious. And let me explain it too, because it's very important. Most people are stuck in a self-help loop. I know I was. A self-help loop, by definition, starts when our unconscious realizes that there's something we're missing. And this unconscious wound is the foundational block of our personality. What we try to do with our self-conscious is we have a self-conscious ideal, a way that we think we can fix this wound. There are 9 wounds and 9 self-conscious ideals. Now, one of them is the wound that we're not good enough. Another is that we're not perfect. Another is that we're not worthy. This is the underlying premise. Now, you and I, we would never experience that fully. We're not allowed to experience completely not being good enough or completely being unworthy. We would never experience it fully. But because that's the basis of how we orient to life, we're never able to experience the opposite. See, the opposite is how we think we're going to solve that unconscious wound. And we're never allowed to experience that either. For example, somebody caught in the loop of perfectionism, they believe that they're not perfect and they are trying to create an ideal of a perfect life, a perfect them. But because of one thing, they can never escape it. And that one thing is the unconscious is what manifests in your life. Whatever the unconscious has survived, it believes that's how the world is, and changing that is a threat to survival, so it doesn't change it. So it allows you to stand here in the middle, standing somewhere between experiencing the wound and your ideal. And you bounce forward and back and forward and back, trying to change, fix, heal yourself enough, thinking that if you could finally change, fix, or heal yourself enough, then you can go over here to a new desired reality, a new goal with more money or more love. Over here, you think once you finally do enough of this, then you can go and have that. In 2016, this was explained to me that all I was doing was trying to fix a part of myself that I felt was incomplete. However, I could never fix it because it was my identity. And all I'm going to do is oscillate between here and here. And that's why you see people going to course after course after course. It feels good. It feels like they're taking some progress when they go to that Joe Dispenza seminar or an Anthony Robbins concert, or they do a meditation or hypnosis. It feels good. They get a dopamine hit because their self-conscious thinks they're making progress. But eventually, as they make a bit of that, their unconscious won't actually let them change fully, and they come back down. And they go up and down, up and down, up and down. And after 10, 15 years, their life hasn't really changed that much. They're not having a different experience in life. Now, this is where the superconscious comes in. See, what I teach and what I want to show you is how to leave this world behind and to step into a new reality. This is what I was taught, how to become a creator. To be a creator is to understand that your highest vibration is to create what you love, and creating what you love, not in a romantic sense, not in a I love, somebody sense, or I love that, in a sense that what you want to see manifest doesn't exist yet. And you love it so much, you turn that into existence. You love it into reality. The creative act is rising to your highest mind, to the highest part of you, connecting to your true nature and purpose, and using your mind to bring it into reality. We have a 5-step system to do this. It's called the neurocreation technique. And this was passed down to me. To be able to go into these 5 steps, at first, you need to understand which of the loops you're in. Now, there are 9 loops. You must know which loop you're in, which self-sabotaging unconscious loop that you're in, so that you can see it and you can disengage from the loop. Because stepping into creating what you love starts with a new reality and a new world, okay? Now, the 5 steps are really clear and really simple, and we apply it with a 15-minute a day process. The first step is you choose what it is you'd love to see manifest. The second is you use neuro-emotional visualization, building a full inner mind and inner picture of what you want to create. The third step is to create a structure. I talk a lot about structure. Structure creates your reality. You understand where you are now compared to that creation. The third step is that you get intuitive action. You ask your field, you ask your highest mind, how can I manifest that? And we've seen some amazing manifestations in my work. We've had people regain their eyesight. We've seen people found $100 million companies, space schools. We've seen people completely change their health and vitality, their financial situation, their relationship. We've helped tens of thousands of people with this, because the last step, once you get an intuitive action, is you must recode your focus. See, most of us, our focus is getting pulled back into this all the time. What is it that we need to solve about our life in order to get on with what we really want to do? And what happens is that focus, and specifically, there's a little collection of neurons at the back of your brain called a reticular activating system. And this pays attention to what's important to you. And this is why self-help and personal development doesn't work, because you teach it to look for what's wrong. So it looks for what's wrong in your life. It looks for what it needs to improve. It looks, and it will always find that there was something in your past stopping you, that there was something in your ancestors, that something got passed down genealogically, or something in your stars that you don't know. It will always find something, because the reticular activating system has been taught to show you what's important to you. Okay, the science is amazing on this. And so you have taught your system to continually look for what's wrong, and it causes you to stay in one of 9 loops. When we shift, use the 5 steps of the neurocreation method, magic happens. Like unbelievable creations happen, like me building 2 $10 million companies, one after the other, but never been able to do that before. It completely changes everything. And I want to teach it to you, because now, being on the other side of it, my purpose is to change the focus of humanity. We're in this place right now where with AI and robotics, we don't need to have jobs. Yet we're still stuck in this old paradigm. We don't need what we've been doing for the last couple of 100 years. In fact, with solar power and robotics and AI, every human on the planet can actually thrive. Buckminster Fuller said that we are going to be faced with our final exam as a species, whether we can create a system where everyone, every species, everything can thrive on this planet, or we're going to fail. And we're at that juncture where if we keep living in these loops of trying to fix our current reality, having a war on peace, having a war on war, having a war on drugs, having a war on terror, a war on our children, having a war and trying to do this, we're going to get more and more and more stuck. And this has been so apparent over the last 5 years. We had the COVID pandemic, and instead of creating superconsciously healthy people, we just, we injected and we did things to fight off the problem. And the problem reality creates us being in this loop. And so I've got a big passion to help people step into this new reality, to become creators, to use AI and robotics to free us so we can actually create our full purpose here as fully embodied human beings and fully embodied creators, and make the world a better place for everybody. And that's what I'm passionate about. We need to let go of the past and step into the creative reality. So you need to understand the loop that you're in. If you've gone to more than one course, if you've had a goal for more than 1 year and that goal hasn't manifested, you're stuck in a self-sabotaging unconscious loop, okay? And I was, so don't worry about it. It's not me standing up here saying, I never was. We all have, because we've all been born into a wrong direction in life. And that wrong direction in life is a life that we think that we're here to solve a part of our consciousness. Okay. So I want to invite you to step into a new reality where what you want to create is the focus of your life, and you don't need to be any other way than you. See, you are a creative energy. You've created a body, a life, a family. You've created that. And that energy that's behind you, that superconscious, is what I want to help you to tap into. You just cannot tap into it when you're playing an unconscious or a self-conscious game, which is 99% of the world. You have to learn to leave that behind and become superconscious. So there are 9 loops, okay? The first loop is the perfection loop, okay? And the strategy that you'll see is a lot of criticism and rule following, because the core wound is I'm not perfect, and the ideal self is to be a flawless one. The experience of life is a consistent audit. The second loop is the approval loop, okay? And this is this idea of being in this ideal self of the selfless caretaker, because their wound is that they don't have any needs. Okay, their strategy is helping others, and they feel unseen but indispensable. Another loop is the achievement loop. Okay, they have this core wound that they're nothing without success. Their ideal self is to be the admired winner. Their image is their strategy is to have an image and to be achieving and pushing. Their experience in life is they win, but it feels hollow. So those are 3 of the 9 loops. I have an assessment to help you understand all 9 loops and which one you might be in. For example, there's the authenticity loop, the mastery loop, the safety loop, the freedom loop, the control loop, and the harmony loop. Each one of these loops will drive you loopy, to be honest, but the life experience has you going around and around in circles, and it's not super conscious. It's not your highest level. Take, for example, what we see a lot of, the achievement loop, okay, where wins feel hollow. This was me. I spent the first 20 years of adult life in the achievement loop. How do I achieve? How do I achieve? How do I achieve? But because every win felt hollow, it wasn't very motivating. And so I'd never truly reached my potential, because I was trying to push and be in the admired winner. But without success, I felt like nothing. Once I left that behind and just asked different questions and focused on what it is that I really loved and step into my highest self, my highest vibration, I learned to use my mind to create what I've never created before. I learned the power of structure and intuition, and I learned how to recode my focus. Yeah, everything that I ever wanted happened, but I didn't really care. I used to care. I didn't really care. I built a multi 8-figure business, making tens of millions of dollars every single year, making millions of dollars a month. I paid houses, I bought a Lamborghini, I did all the things that I wanted to do, but I didn't care anymore. What really mattered to me was the process. And that's what I want to teach you. It's time for humans to wake up. So if you want to take the step with me and get a super conscious upgrade, I want to invite you on a link below to join me in this escaping the self-help loop and to get a super conscious upgrade. I've got an amazing opportunity. The first thing you're going to get is a full assessment on which loop you're in. You'll know in detail, you get a written report, and you'll get a one-on-one call with one of my certified coaches. They're certified in the magnetic mind method, and they understand the neurocreation technique. And they will explain to you the loop that you're in, what you need to do to get out of it, and how to focus correctly. The third thing that's in this program is the 15-minute morning routine that the billionaire taught me. This is how to use your mind to create a life you love. So I'll teach you that, plus we give you guided visualizations and meditations to use to structure your life, and a morning planner. So every day you wake up, and this is a millionaire morning planner. So you're going to get all of that, plus I'm going to be giving you a full workshop and training on this, okay? It's a few hours long, and it explains in detail how to visualize correctly, how to use all of your senses, how to focus on what you love, and so that you are not just in a negative vision. See, most people use personal development and self-help as just another way to turn against themselves, another way to make themselves wrong. And the name of my book, as you might be able to see behind me, is called You're Not Broken. And you can find it on Amazon. We've sold over 1 million copies. You're not broken. I want to say to you, you're not broken. You don't need to turn against yourself. You need to tune into your higher mind and let go of this programming. Let go of this focus and start learning to focus in a way where your highest mind is activated. Because what I notice is for most people, their true passion, their true heart is overshadowed by their unconscious agenda to think they're broken, to think that they need to fix something, to seek out image, to seek out others' opinions, and they're stuck in this low level. If you've done the basics and you're ready for the most advanced, highest level superconscious training, I invite you to come join me in this program. So you'll get the assessment. The assessment on its own is worth $100. You'll get a call with a certified coach worth a couple $100. You're going to get a full training with me on how the process works. We used to sell that for $495. You're also going to get the morning routine and planner. We used to sell that for $199. You're going to get all of this. Plus, I'm going to give you 5 recodes. This is the process that tunes you into your highest mind and shows you how to let go of your past. I'm going to give you all of that, and you can get it for just $97. The whole lot, everything, all included: the call, the morning routine, the planner, the understanding, but also the assessment to know which of the 9 loops you're in. Because, until like, for example, until you know that you are actually stuck in the mastery loop, okay? The mastery loop is where we always think that there's something else we need to master. Our ideal is to be this expert that understands everything, okay? We have this belief that the world is unsafe and it's going to drain me, and the strategy is to gain lots of knowledge. The experience of this person is they know a lot, but they don't achieve very much. They don't actually get what they want. And so if you're stuck in that loop, you need to know how that loop looks and shows up in your life when you're in it, and to stop being engaged in it. See, we don't fix ourselves. We learn how to recode our focus. We learn how to get ourselves into a new structure. So I want you to think of that old pattern, that old loop, like a room in your house. You could go in that room. You could go play in this loop, but you don't have to. Right now, you don't even know it. You don't have the awareness of the loop. So you walk into a Joe Dispenza or a Greg Braden or a Lynn McTaggart at work. You go do a Power of 8 circle. You go and get hypnosis. You go to a retreat. You do this amazing stuff, the emotion code or EDMR or EFT or NLP. Go do these things, but you do it under a premise of trying to change or fix or heal. And the truth is, you're not broken. You don't need to change or fix or heal anything. You need to learn to let go of that focus and engage your highest mind and become super conscious. So my name is Chris Duncan. I am so thrilled to be sharing this with you. The world needs to wake up. We need to step into a new reality. The neurocreation technique is a 5-step method to turn your highest creations into reality, to tune into the invisible and bring it down into thought. I want to birth a movement of creators, not complainers. The world that we've got right now, it needs to shift. It needs to change. But we cannot just keep putting band-aids over how it is. We need to leave it behind and step into a completely new reality. And it starts with you. It starts with you creating abundance financially, abundance in your health, abundance so that you are able then to give to others. There's a world there where every single one of us has an organic farm at home, and we have unlimited water coming in off our roof with a beautiful water filter, and we have solar panels or whatever supporting our house and charging our car, and we're completely free. And there's a world where we're able to take that freedom and spend time with our family, and we can use artificial intelligence to be the teacher of our children rather than send them off to a school. And we can create community again, and we can start healing the planet. We can start shifting and healing the waterways and looking after the animals. We can do this. We can do it. And that's my purpose. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm going to give you all of this for an amazing deal of just $97. You're going to get the one-on-one session with a certified coach. Okay. And they're very talented, smart people. And, I've got to pay them. So I do need to charge you. The second is we're going to do a full assessment of which loop you're in. Third, you're going to get the morning routine and planner that I received from a multi-billionaire and that I applied to my life. You'll learn that morning routine and everything. It is so cool. Also going to give you a workshop on the 5 steps on how to create a choice from your heart, not from your dysfunction, how to visualize correctly using all your senses, how to create structure, how to intuit your next obvious action. And of course, we're going to give you 5 recodes. We do a recode on self-sabotage, fear of failure, fear of rejection, and there's 2 others, recoding your focus. We're going to give you all of that and more for just $97, no strings attached. So if you're in, click the link, take a step forward, let yourself go do something productive with this. You'll get the assessment straight away and you'll start to understand, because here's what I know. If you need an education and you do nothing about it, you're going to pay for it in other ways, wasted time, going round in circles. You're going to pay for it in other ways. If you're stuck in one of these loops and you go to another course, another business seminar, you're just in the loop of trying to fix yourself. And I've got a friend of mine. He sold a company for tens of millions of dollars, made tons of money. But because he sold it to try to avoid this, he's now numb. He's got no friends. He's got no buddies. He's got nothing happening in his life because the structure he was in was just to solve problems and this underlying need for approval. And so he solved all his problems. Now he's got nothing. See, solving all your problems isn't the answer. Creating a life you love is. See, a lot of people say, Chris, I want freedom. Freedom from what? What are you going to do with that freedom? You don't want freedom. You actually want purpose. You actually want meaning. You actually want fulfillment. See, we need to let go of this idea that we need to fix or heal. We need to let go. See, it's not fixing or healing or improving a broken thing. Personal development is just the most advanced version of you in a broken structure. We need to let that go. And I've got the system how to. The neurocreation method will show you exactly how to do it. It's a new thing, a new way. It is nothing like you've ever seen before. See, just to put one thing in perspective, we actually teach your superconscious how to completely change the neurology in your brain. And we've tracked it. And we can show you how to access this highest part of your mind. I mean, this highest part of your mind is amazing. I mean, if you've ever thought about the fact that there's such a thing as simultaneous invention, where two people invented the telephone at the same time, and they lived in completely different countries. You know, this is a couple hundred years ago. They had no way of communicating. The telephone didn't even exist, but they look exactly the same. There's a field of information outside, a morphogenic field, that you can tune into and you can intuit and invent new ideas. And in my opinion, this is what makes being a human so special, is we have this ability to rise out of reality and live in a completely made up reality. We have the ability to use that reality and bring those ideas down into physical reality. It has been a search for alchemists for years to find the philosopher's stone that turns lead into gold, or to turn something unprecious into precious. And the answer of what is the philosopher's stone? It's imagination. It's the ability to invent the future, to be creative. Anyone you've ever looked up to understands how to use this part of their mind, this intuitive, inventive, genius part of their mind, to create new ideas and new ways. And the internet and television and electricity, all of this has been invented by humans. It's never been a problem solve. It's never been a trying to fix the way we are, because there's nothing to fix at that highest level. You have been caught in this personal development, self-help idea that there's a way to be, that if you were just positive or happy or more fun, or, if you meditated a certain way, then you'd have everything you want. And it's a lie. So the creative process, the superconscious creative process, is not positivity. It's not willpower. It's not overcoming barriers. It's not a belief system. It's not fixing yourself. It's not healing. It's none of that. It's one thing. It's learning to use your highest mind to create what matters to you, to create a life you love, to create a healthy and vital body, to create your truest nature and purpose in this world, to create. And just riddle me this. If you were to create a life you love and a healthy body, if you were to create things that matter to you, if you were to bring them into reality, if you were to go on a journey to bring those things forward, to manifest them, wouldn't you feel positive? Wouldn't it look like you've solved your problems and look like you have willpower? Wouldn't it look like all of that? So from the outside, many people have gone, oh, creators are positive. Well, not necessarily. Creatives have willpower. Not necessarily. They know one thing. They know how to use their mind to have their mind over matter and bring thoughts into reality. That's what they know. And by doing that, you'll be more fulfilled, happy, on purpose, and love your life than anything I've ever seen. So if you're still watching this, clearly there's something here that that's important to you. So join me on this journey. It's the best decision you ever make. Again, it's just I could charge you so much more for this. We do and have in the past, but now our purpose has shifted. So for $97, you're going to get the full assessment and a one-on-one call to help you understand that assessment and where you're going. You're going to get the Millionaire Morning Routine that comes with the exact way to visualize and structure your life for more abundance. You're also going to get the full training with me on how to apply the 5 steps, the neurocreation method. It's a few hours long, that training. And you're also going to receive some meditations with that too. Plus, you're going to receive 5 recodes that show you exactly how to let go of where you've been. But most importantly, you're going to make a decision to step forward as a creator of your life and to let go of this old structure where you're going round and around in circles. I care about this so much to birth a new reality of humanity where we can be creators of how we all want it to be is so crucial right now with everything that's going on and the opportunity we have with AI and robotics. It is the moment that we're going to be so proud of to say, we shifted. So this is your invitation. Click the link, join me. I'm so excited. Again, thank you for listening. My name is Chris Duncan. Join me in the Superconscious Upgrade program. Let's escape the self-help loop. Bye for now.